pheasants, egrets, and peacocks. It all seemed like a brilliant Garden of Eden. And yet, a few miles away, our neighbors had themselves castrated, and that was only the beginning of it. They had rented a 9,000-square-foot mansion and lived quietly behind their locked gates, regarding themselves as students in a school for spiritual enlightenment. Some kind of religious commune, the neighborhood thought. But they paid their rent, didn't bother anyone, and supported themselves as website design consultants. For an unconventional religious group, they had very mainstream clients. One of their last design commissions was for the Fairbanks Ranch Polo Club. They were New Age seekers who felt lost in this world. They felt stranded, believing they had come from another world in the stars and that their bodies were merely vehicles. They were part of the away team from the heavens. When the Hale-Bopp comet was sighted in 1995, the seekers felt it was sent from heaven and that an unseen spaceship trailed behind, ready to bring them home. They made methodical preparations. If they could exit their earthly body vehicles at the right time, when the comet was closest to Earth, they would be transported to the heavens on the approaching spaceship. Then, they believed, they would graduate to the next level. The date they looked forward to was March 22nd, 1997. Their website announced, "Hale-Bopp's approach is the marker we've been waiting for, the time for the arrival of the spacecraft to take us home to the literal heavens. Our 22 years of classroom here on planet Earth is finally coming to conclusion. Graduation from the human evolutionary level. We are happily prepared to leave this world." In preparation for their journey, the acolytes wore identical yellow rings on the fourth finger of their left hands, brand-new Nike shoes, and black tracksuits emblazoned with triangular patches reading Heaven's Gate Away Team. They packed their belongings in duffel bags under their bunk beds, placed their passports and driver's licenses in their pockets, and ate a last meal of vodka and pudding or applesauce that was heavily laced with barbiturates. The medical examiners found a note at the scene describing the group's methodical plans for suicide. Drink the vodka, eat a few teaspoons of pudding or applesauce, stir in the powder, eat it quickly, drink some more of the vodka medicine, and lay back and relax. After the breathing has slowed down, use plastic bag to be sure. To facilitate the transfer to space in an orderly fashion, the group carried out waves of suicide. While the first cohort slept deeply after ingesting the pudding, companions wrapped plastic bags over their dying friends' heads to guarantee suffocation. The corpses were treated with reverence and covered with purple cloths. The next day, the second cohort of believers prepared similarly to exit their bodily vehicles. 1 day later, the last group overdosed, but there was no one left alive to wrap their heads in plastic or cover them with plastic shrouds. Having anticipated this, they ingested extra medication, hydrocodone, to make sure. They all died, and their earthly vehicles were now empty. The members left detailed records of their beliefs, which I will return to later. Their deaths were very troubling to me. It's one thing when members of a cult kill themselves far away in time and space. It's different when it happens next door. How could people be induced to do such things? What could make them choose castration, assist in killing their friends, and then join them in suicide? The specifics of their beliefs were odd, but people believe many outlandish things. As I struggled to understand what happened at Heaven's Gate, I realized that coercive persuasion is heartbreakingly common. Indeed, it haunted the 20th century like a recurring nightmare. To tell the story of how brainwashing developed, I will discuss 100 years of observations in fields that range from military history to religious studies, and from medicine to the social and behavioral sciences. Given how wide-ranging the discussion will be, I'll provide a brief roadmap as a preview. It would be grueling to analyze all instances of brainwashing in the 20th century. Thus,